All right. It's Friday night. Turn that around a little bit. For no reason. Hey, Heine. See, this is why I always think you're here at the start. So if you say hi later in the stream, I get confused because of how often you're here right at the start. Just saying. Anyway, I'm going to do the usual and start by making a cocktail for which I want... I'm going to a Blu-ray haul. Oh, yeah, no. You definitely want to have a huge chinwag with Home for the Elderly about a Blu-ray haul. Come on, God damn it. Oh, God, is this fucking orange dried out? Hate it when I can't get a good garnish. Let me try again. That's a bit better. Oof. But this orange is almost UC-less already. Now, do I want to make that prettier? I probably do. With my little trimming blade for making it prettier. All right. Maybe want to trim that off. It's not quite doing what I want. You know what? That's enough. Ooh, okay. I'm actually really keen to see that too. If your haul's got something good enough to make him jealous. And I'm gonna trim a little pith from this. Just because I believe people who tell me I should do that. All right. Okay. All right. I do want my friggin' cherries too. So let's do this. Okay. Now I'll get everything together to make this. Let's go up here. Yeah. Right there. Oh. That. Let's get a cherry ready. Hell, I just scored 3 cherries. That's a bit excessive. I'll cut it back to 2. Because if the gods are favoring me with multiple cherries, who am I to say no? Okay, Mad March days. We want... Oh, I haven't even opened that. What's that? Twofold. Which one's this? It's the Cletus cask. Bourbon cask. That's the one we want. Let's do that stuff. Amato. And the mysterious cupboard of mystery. Oh, we're going with a Werner. And where's my cinnamon liqueur. Okay. Oh god, what have I fucking... I've got a huge fucking stain on my shirt. I've got to change shirts. Fuck. I'm going to make a video with a huge fucking stain on my shirt. Okay, Heine, if anyone comes in, tell them I'm a messy eater. All right. Doing my shirt up. Oh, you know, I got to see my great shame. That was the food stains on my shirt. Okay. Time to get stuff happening. Okay, that tripod is all the way around here. Okay, let's bring that to here. Let's put the tripod on. Camera on the tripod, I mean. Okay, let's get this going on. All right. Got that. Now we want to get this. Do that. Let's get the GoPro set up. Okay, looks like my ice is suitably tempered. Left it sitting there for about 10 minutes. Right, what are we doing? Okay. So I'm gonna do this. Yep. Who's there? Hey, Pat, how are you? A random fact. 2025 is 45 squared. Last such square year was 1936, 44 squared. That is a fun random fact. I like that one. Okay. Let's get this happening. Okay. See how this looks. Is that framed up? Yes, I believe it is. Okay. Let's get this stuff ready. What matters isn't matter. Okay, 60 mils of Zavisky. All right. Yep, where's my other thing? We're going to want this. Okay. Ready to go. Whiskey. Amaro. Okay. That's that done. Let's put the lids back on the bottles. Okay. That's some ice baby. Let's get that going. To stir this. That's tasting good. So that's in place. And there we go. That's all made. It's out of the way for now. All right, I want to take a picky. Maybe there. Thumbnail. Good. Okay. Okay, let's get this going on. Hey, Celtic. How you doing? so good. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called Mad March Days. And I thought, hey, coming into March, why not make a cocktail that I just discovered called Mad March Days? It also called for an ingredient that I could approximate and was a good use of something I have, I think. Namely, the original version used a Scotch whiskey that had been aged in ex-bourbon barrels. I have this local whiskey, an Australian single malt, from Starwood, which was aged in ex-bourbon casks. Most of their whiskies are aged in ex-wine or fortified wine barrels. This is essentially a herbal... This is essentially a Manhattan variation with a herbal accent. I'm using an Amaro rather than sweet vermouth in this. I'm going with a Verna Amaro. The original recipe called for Bekarovka liqueur, which I don't have. I have a lot of liqueurs and modifiers. I don't have them all, and I'm not going to rush out and buy one just for one drink, although I do see that sometimes in other recipes. But I looked up the flavor profile of it's very herbal and it listed all these flavors. I thought, you know what, I'm going to improvise. I'm going to do a split of green chartreuse, and this is a slightly unusual one. This is a cinnamon liqueur, kind of in the Amaro phase. So I think these different herbal profiles are going to go well with everything else. I thought it sounded interesting, but I don't know if I like it because I haven't tasted it yet. So let's give it a quick taste. And it's exactly what you would expect if you've ever had a black Manhattan. It's that, but with a more herbal edge. Not overpowering, just those little elements in there. You want probably, like I'm using a bar spoon of each. If you actually had the Bekarovka, you'd probably want to use somewhere between a quarter and a third of an ounce, 7.5 mils to 10 mils of that. Like I said, I improvised, and I'll show you exactly how that improvisation goes. We make it like this. In a mixing glass, put 60 mils or 2 ounces of the whiskey of your choice, then 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of the Amaro. Now I'm making it with 5 mils of the cinnamon liqueur and 5 mils or around a bar spoon of green chartreuse. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. I'm straining that into a rocks glass over a big chunk of sexy clear ice. And for garnishes, I'm using a twist of orange peel and a couple of maraschino cherries on a skewer. Besides the herbal element, another obvious difference between this and a standard Manhattan or black Manhattan is it's recommended to be served on the rocks rather than up. And the garnish, I was only going to do one maraschino cherry, but I just stabbed into the jar to get one, and I got 2. And if the cherry gods smile on me and say, you get 2, I'm not going to say no, because I love me the maraschino cherries. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this. I hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you are. And I hope you come back and see me for some more cocktail ideas. But until I do see you again, I'll say cheers. Going to sit down like this. Wait a second, there's a little bit more. Just drain that in there. Now I'm gonna sit down and turn a couple of things off. Okay, let's get this scoot of the way. Okay. Here we go. Hey, Rays. Oh, God. Yeah, well, they treat you like shit. I think you should get a better job. You deserve better. Stick another orange peel. What are we doing here? You go there. You go there. Get that orange peel right in there. Stick another orange peel in there. Because I can. Pat, I got to look Discord, do I? Okay, I look Discord. Under Pat's movie reviews. Paddington in Peru. Okay, I've already heard things about this. Are you calling... Am I right in assuming you're saying Paddington Bear in Peru is 5 out of 10? I just want to check that was your intention with your review. Ray's lost 400 working for these Muppets. Aaron says, don't appreciate your energy. Oh, God, fuck them. Jesus, no. No, they've got to show appreciation or fuck off, basically. Okay, so you're not a fan of Paddington. I'd actually heard good things about it, but you're coming down in Paddington in Peru, not a great movie. Well, I guess not everything is 10 out of 10 best movie then. Pat's being tough on Little Paddington Bear. But that's the official movie review for Paddington Bear. 5 out of 10. What didn't you like it? Was it too much like a kid's movie? I'm a little intrigued as to why you didn't like it. Ray's going to go back to construction. Most likely to leave. Cozy, just air conditioning, no violence. Yeah. Yeah, particularly if you get past summer. Construction in summer is a bit brutal. You should definitely do something that works better for you, and you get things. So it's just a weird movie. Okay. No, it didn't appeal to you. Too weird. That's fair enough. If it's not your kettle of fish, it's not your kettle of fish. And it goes into the not 10 out of 10 weird movie list. To be fair, a movie about a talking stuffed bear is pretty... Angry Cocktail Cult. I mean, you know, it's got a membership of 1 at the moment, me. Ray's very almost stabbed this week, dealt with alcohol poisoning, someone with head injuries, overdose, junkie tried to syringe you for asking them not to shit on a wall. Dude, no. They need to pay you more and show you some respect, or fuck off. Fuck them right off, man. That's some bullshit that you don't need to put up with. It's just, you know, it's bullshit. Yeah, no, they're trying to pay you less, which is fucking ridiculous. No, you work too hard to put up with that shit. And they need a friggin' wake-up call of if you're going to fuck with someone, you're going to lose them. They seem like assholes. There you go. I'm controversial take, but it's my take. They're assholes. Fuck them. Fuck the assholes. Yeah, I mean, if they're not cutting you any slack, if they're not giving you any benefits, fuck them. Hard work should be recognized and rewarded. Ooh, traveling north. How far north? Is it going to be all snowy? Canada is pretty snowy. Thanks, Celtic. I like the cartoon cocktail accoutrements as well. Can imagine them doing little song and dance routines. Year of night shifts. Yeah, no, it's fucked. Yeah, Pat. 3 days of hot weather. It's like, what are they saying now? It was 30, 38, and 34. That's just Melbourne. Out where you are, Pat, it's probably hotter. 30, whoa, 30, 37, and 36. Man, oof, people with no air conditioning are going to be fucked by Sunday night. At least it's cooling down overnight. Only getting down to 22 overnight on Saturday night. But not like those nights where it doesn't go below 30. Dang. Okay, see, I don't know Canada that well. So Vancouver, no snow. Okay. I'm taking your word for it. So you want hot weather? Is that what you mean by missing hot weather? I don't know if and when you're coming back, but most places the hot weather is going to last for another 2 months. At least. And it's probably warm weather for another 2-3 months after that. As our summers get longer and hotter. That's okay. The bitter edge is not really magic. Oh god, I just realized both things I was making tonight are Manhattan variations. That's okay. I don't have to have variety. No, you don't want it. You're deliberately, you're avoiding. There's the thing, missing in that context could mean two different things. Yeah, missing as in skipping, or missing as in, oh, I'm missing out. I wish I wasn't. You are deliberately missing or avoiding the hot weather. And I mean, fair enough. I don't really like cold weather. I like temperate weather. You know, I'd you know, if I had unlimited millions, I'd just be jetting around. I wouldn't be going to places where it's summer or winter. It'd be spring and autumn I'd be hopping around to. When I got too warm or too cold, I'd jump on a plane and go somewhere else. Although some people say it's better for your psyche if you actually experience seasons and don't just chase weather that's perpetually the same. My ideal is like 22 to 24 Celsius and sunny. So not, I think once you're getting 25, it's uncomfortably warm. And it's like over 27 is freaking hot. And once you get over 30, it's like, oh, this fucking sucks. And the further north you go from there, the more it sucks, quite honestly. So I'm just thinking, I'm going to do something over here in preparation for making another drink. Tip all that out. All right. Oof. Yeah, okay. If I'm going to make another video, I'm going to have to do it soon before I run out of energy. Celtic, you like cold weather. You do the same as me if you were wealthy, but go to cold places. There are people who do it. Justin refused to use the imperial system. Phone gives you metric. Yeah, it's It's silly, but I still have to, although in weights and distance, I think metric. Like if someone talks about how much they weigh in pounds or stones, I've got no idea what they're talking about. I mean, if someone talks a distance in miles, I know what they're talking about, but I prefer to go kilometers. But height, I have to convert it to feet and inches to get a sense of how tall someone is. Like I see numbers, like once someone's 1.9 meters, I know, well, they're fucking tall. But to have a concrete thing of how tall they are, I need it in feet and inches. And I have no sensible explanation for that. It just is. You know what? Yeah, I am going to make another cocktails. Yeah, half an hour. I've only had one cocktail. Feet's easy for you. You hate centimeters? Yeah, I literally, someone can tell me their height in centimeters, and I'm like, cool. I vaguely know what that is. If I get in feet and inches, I know exactly what it is. Yes, and I say kilograms for weight, not pounds. Yeah. One reason the US should switch to save lives and money by preventing confusion. The imperial measurements are fucking stupid, and they make no sense whatsoever. They're fucking stupid. Whereas metrics an attempt to go, hey, you know what? We're doing stuff and everything's got clear relationships and we're breaking it down in numbers that are easy to understand. The imperial system is fucking ridiculous. Like imperial rule is fucking stupid. Anywho, I'm going to make my second Manhattan variation for the night. Okay, let's get some stuff ready. Put this light back here. I am incidentally being taunted. The fucking boot I did a shoey out of is just sitting on the floor down here, taunting me like, ha, you got talked into doing a shoey again. I mean, I understand why you're in the rage phase. Lucky you're not on the phone. Yeah. You need to put some distance between you and that. You rant to us. Because you're 100% right. Get it out of your system here and not lose your job. Okay. Putting on the rich. Do. Now, what is this one I'm doing? The high riser. Sweet vermouth. Aromatous. Gotta put everything away. Okay, these all go back in the mysterious cupboard of mystery. Do. All the chartreuse. Because there's a global shortage of it, so I got extra bottles. So I got lots of chartreuse in there that I probably won't go through in a long time. Okay, that's closed up. This back on the shelf. All right. Rye whiskey and sweet vermouth. Okay. And let's just get everything ready. Ooh. Such fun little pop. And that. Okay. Rye whiskey. Ooh, just a little bit of that left. Right, ready to go. Who is that? Steel Defense. Hello, sorry, I'm making a cocktail. Just came here asking about car insurance. I remember that. Yes. How you been? I'm just going to be a couple minutes. I'm making a cocktail. This is just a short video for YouTube, so it literally should only be about 5 minutes to do this. Let's see. Let's see, motherfucker. Okay, we're just doing this. Rye whiskey. Sweet vermouth. Oh. Dash of aromatic bitters. All right. And that's that. And let's put a bit of fresh ice in there too. There we go. Bob Gironda's living lover. Okay. All right, put these back in. Right, I need to turn this back on. Okay, let's stir, stir, stir. That will do. Oops, just make sure that glass is lined up right. Looks good. Strain this in. Ooh, and I'm just going to put my garnish on there. All right, that's the cocktail made. Now just do the talky bit. Honestly, your advice helped. Nice. I'm gonna check that out properly in a minute. I just got to do the talky bit of this video. Yeah. Ready. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is a Manhattan variation called a high riser. It's essentially a 50-50 Manhattan and specifically calls for a higher proof rye whiskey. And when I saw that, I thought, ooh, gives me an excuse to use pretty much the last of this. It's a special vermouth cask gospel projects. Sorry, I should, okay, I fucking lost the thread. Fuck. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called a high riser. It's essentially a 50-50 sweet... Fuck, can't talk. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called a high riser. It's essentially a 50-50 Manhattan and specifically calls for the use of a high-proof rye whiskey. When I saw that, I thought, excellent excuse to use pretty much the last of this rye whiskey I have. This is from a local maker, the Gospel Distillery. One of their limited runs. It was aged in vermouth casks. And I thought that little bit of extra vermouth flavor in there goes well with a Manhattan or a Manhattan variation in this case. And giving it a quick taste. Yep, it's got that great Manhattan vibe. Because there's more vermouth in this than a usual Manhattan, you want to use a good vermouth, and I used one that I like. So make sure you got one you like, and I'll show you how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of a high-proof rye whiskey. Then add 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of sweet vermouth. And finally, just 1 dash of aromatic bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. I'm straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass and using some maraschino cherries on a skewer as the garnish. It's a little change to a Manhattan, but you can taste the difference. If you're used to making a Manhattan with, say, a bourbon-style whiskey, try it with this, with a high-proof rye and 50-50 with a sweet vermouth, just for a little bit of variety. Because, variety is the spice of life. In this case, the spice of cocktails. I'm going to finish this off. Hope you're taking care wherever you are. Hope to see you again soon. Until I do, I'll say cheers. All right. I feel like I garbled that a fair bit, but you know what? We're fucking done. We're fucking done. Let me switch a few things off. Then I'm sitting down. Not making any more cocktail videos tonight. So I'll put this right out of the way. In a case I want to go back over here. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Switch this light off so we got more pleasant mood lighting. All right. What are we doing? Okay, right. All right. Splish splash. Bleeding splish splash show. Okay, sitting down. So what were you saying? Still defense. So advice helped. You've been amazing. Good. Adjusted to adult life. Started a bit late, catching up. Good for you. And I've been well, thank you. Raze, if you weren't a germaphobe, you'd become a goddamn garbage. That pays fairly well, I think, doesn't it? Because, again, it can be quite difficult work. And, yeah, you don't want to do if you're a germaphobe. Damn. Okay. Ooh. I don't want to get smashed. I am technically working tomorrow, but it's, Friday after New Year's, and it's my last day before I go on 3 weeks leave. So it's not going to be doing that much tomorrow, but I got to front up. Have I tried TikTok? Oh, dude, yes. I was uploading my short videos to TikTok, and I've been very poorly disciplined. And I haven't done it for ages. And because I already make the content, so I can just put it on TikTok. I need to be more disciplined and put stuff on TikTok. So, Ray's being a garbage man pays magnificently, but you type too many diseases. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the old days. I mean, you still are dealing with the fucking garbage and stuff. With the wheelie bins and things and what. Like, when I was young, bloody steel garbage bins that, the truck would pull up and the garbos would pick up your fucking bins by hand and throw it in the back. They were getting much closer with friggin' garbage back in the day. Yeah, exactly. TikTok is perfect for the shorts, and I'm making them anyway. So I've just got to be more disciplined because I'm kind of shy with discipline. Or I can be disciplined on one thing. I can be disciplined on YouTube. Expanding that discipline to other things, I'm actually quite bad at. So, I'll try and be more disciplined. See, still defense, you're giving me motivation to do a thing I should definitely be doing, and I was doing for a while, but I've been really slack. But that just means I've got a whole bunch of shorts I haven't uploaded to TikTok. So I'll upload some more. Deep so. Oh, a friend of mine, someone I know through the YouTube cocktail world, calls himself Uncle Pete. He posted something to TikTok and it got like 1 million views because it was like controversy engagement. Because he's like my age, so he's an older guy, but he wears nail polish. So when he's holding stuff with mixing stuff and whatnot, you see that he's got nail polish. So it generated all this controversy on TikTok of should guys be wearing nail polish and what's all about. So the engagement wasn't really about his cocktail. It was about his nail polish. But hey, probably reached an interested audience that otherwise wouldn't have seen him. Most of the people, as I said, weren't interested in him or his content. They just wanted to have a whole rage bait thing going on about him wearing nail polish. TikTok mixed variety of voice. That's true. Yeah, and you do get there is some good content on. Every now and then I feel like I should do something gimmicky. Okay, Celtic. I also want to say, I joke about being browbeaten into doing a shoey, but it's basically when you said you'd give Dr. Abigail $50 if I did a shoey. I couldn't ignore that. And I'm just going to say, you starting the year with a good and selfless act that genuinely helps someone, I pronounce here and now that means a good year for you. You not even thinking about yourself or any return, did a good deed at the start of the year. That means I invoke cosmic forces to give you a good year. So still defense, as soon as one video gets wind, then your account automatically gains an audience. Yeah, I was getting a few views on TikTok. Like I said, it's a small amount of effort. It's actually almost no effort, and it's really stupid of me to not do it. But anyway, I'll do it again because you've encouraged me. See, and that's why I like doing live streams, just getting some interaction, whatnot. You have official angry blessings, Celtic. The year needs to be good to you, or it has me to answer to. So, and I always like to. And also, I do have a fucking bunch of the stuff you sent me that I haven't opened. It's not even in here. It's in the kitchen. Maybe I should I might save it for party night. I think it's the same name. I think it's Angry Aussie on TikTok. Actually, search Angry Aussie on TikTok and see what comes up. Am I logged in on here? What's my account called? I have TikTok on this phone and I almost never look at it. Everyone talks about being addicted to TikTok. I'm not yet. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is a really weird. Oh, I have no idea how that got there. That's really weird. Anyway, let's go back to home. Don't see any Angry Aussie. Let me see if I can find it. God, maybe I made it Angry Cocktails. Oh, wow. There are actually a couple of people call themselves Angry Aussie. Angry Aussie girl. Is it Angry Cocktails? Oh, it's Angry Cocktails. I didn't realize. I thought I might have been Angry Aussie on TikTok, but I'm Angry Cocktails. So there you go. I'm Angry Cocktails. Oh, it showed up. When I searched Angry Cocktails, it showed up. Let me try that again. Yeah, no, the channel name is Angry Cocktails. Oh, you found it. Okay. Well, there you go. Mystery solved. That shows you how I was not taking TikTok seriously, that I did not actually know what my channel was called. Say Levy. Also, I think the channel name was maybe a mistake because obviously I was thinking of my existing Angry Aussie thing when I did it. But no one who was into the Angry Aussie stuff really gives a crap about the cocktail stuff. But you know, say Levy. I might change the channel name for the cocktail channel at some point. Also, I've vowed that if either of my offspring, who are in their mid-20s, have offspring of their own, I'm going to change my channel names to Grandpa, as in it would be Angry Aussie Grandpa and Cocktail Grandpa, because I'm just going to lean into it, basically. It was the whole with COVID. Like I used to color my hair and beard, like the old Angry Aussie videos. You'll see I've got short, dark hair. And COVID became fuck it time, and I stopped coloring my hair and also grew it long. And the beard's very silver. Oh, you can see there's a little bit of, and the mustache is darker for some reason. I've still got some darker hair on the top, but I'm mostly silver. Yeah, COVID was just like fuck it time. You reckon the grandpa rebrand is the way to go? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do it. Definitely. I just suspect if I say to my offspring, if you have kids, I'm going to do this, they're like, fuck off. I'm not having kids. Damn, what's the time now? Okay. Coming up on 10. I might have one more drink. And in fact, I made a clarified cocktail today and I haven't tasted it. This is a nice color. Look, so you can see straight through it. It's clarified. There's a variation on a blood and sand cocktail, which I clarified. And if I like this, I'm going to make a video of how I made this. Like I'll make it again. Kelsey go to dream about kids. Knights fighting stupidity and dickheads that make videos about their exploits and upload them to YouTube. That sounds pretty good to me. They're both pretty good. Still defense. You're going to go ahead, get some rest. Definitely. Oh, gosh. Yeah, 2 a.m. in California. And you've got to, oh, God. Thank you so much for dropping in to say hello. I hugely appreciate you just coming in and say hello. And I hope you get a decent amount of rest to be able to work. I feel for you. I was really tired on New Year's Day, but that was a public holiday, so that was okay. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you again sometime. In the meantime, I've got the clear cocktail on my clear ice, and it looks cool. Yeah, boy. How does this taste? Oh, that tastes good. That tastes good. So that has an amaro in it, which is a bitter aperitivo. In Italian tradition, you had the aperitif, I think aperitif might be French. Aperitivo might be Italian. Or I could be talking shite. I could be getting it wrong. But the aperitivo, the tradition was you have that before a meal. That's the drink you have before a meal. And the Italians in particular love bitter or semi-bittersweet citrus-based drinks, particularly orange. The big ones are Aperol and Campari, which are orange-based. And so, yes, if you ever see the term for a drink, aperitif or aperitivo, no, that's with a V. Aperitivo is with a V. The tradition is you have that before a meal or at the start, like with your entree. And then if you see digestif, either with an F or a VE, digestive or digestif, that was traditionally had after your meal. With the idea that it aids digestion, which I'm going to say probably is not actually true. But it's just tradition. A particular sort of drink you have before the meal, then you have something with the meal, then you have something after the meal. Not sure what the word would be for something you have with the meal. What's going to make Melbourne CBD busy tomorrow lunchtime that I haven't about? Fucking Fed Square was craziness this evening, because Robbie Williams was doing a free gig in Fed Square. And I think there was just an absolutely freaky number of people there. Like, it was almost spur of the moment. So when it got announced, like, okay, we're closing a bunch of roads, so there's no traffic there because there's going to be way too many friggin' people. Oh, sorry. You're saying you'll be able to tell me how busy the Melbourne CBD is at lunchtime tomorrow because you're having fancy Italian food for your sister's birthday. That's really nice that you're doing anything for your sister's birthday. But yeah, I saw the thing about the Robbie Williams gig and I was like, damn, that's going to be wild. And yeah, I saw some pictures. It's wild. There is a fuckload of people there. I don't know if he'll break the record. He probably will. The record for people in Fed Square for like a free live gig was actually the John Butler Trio. That was probably more than a decade ago. But I reckon Robbie Williams is going to have a huge crowd of people there. But apparently because his movie, the biopic where he's played by a CGI monkey, which chimpanzee, which I think is really funny. But apparently a lot of it was done in the Dockland studios. So he's like honorary Melbourne. Heine, yes, Oprah did get a huge crowd. I was talking about like a music gig. Home for the Elderly, how are you doing? So it's for commercial TV stations were unhappy about Robbie Williams because he got ABC good ratings. Commercial TV channels suck balls, not in a good way. Oh, man. That's okay. That is a fucking kick-ass clarified cocktail. I think one of my old YouTube friends hosted the Oprah thing at Fed Square, and she definitely got a huge crowd of people. Is the movie set in the monkeyverse? No, it's like in our world, but instead of it being Robbie Williams, it's a CGI chimp. But yeah, honestly, genuinely funny. And Fidelity, said it before, you say it again. Robbie Williams is the most charismatic performer you've ever seen working at concerts. He absolutely wows crowds. Has done since the fucking 90s. It's weird when you think, oh, the 90s, that was not long ago. That was 10 years ago. No, he's been doing this live shit for 30 years. I agree, Safa. I was sold when I saw the trailer for the Robbie Williams movie. I thought, that's pretty funny. He's going, I don't see myself like a normal person. So he's a Robbie Williams biopic, but he's played by a CGI chimp. That's just funny. It's kind of like, what was that? Was it the Pharrell movie that was done in Lego? Which I kind of been meaning to watch. Because I actually had friends who worked on it. Hot damn. Okay, this clarified cocktail is good. Definitely it warrants a video. Robbie Williams is a Carlton Blues fan. Oh, yeah, there you go. I learned something. Oh, yes. Hope for the elderly. Heine wanted to talk about his haul today. A 4-disc Blu-ray haul. Dude, I am up for the haul talk whenever you are. So I love that you qualified that, Safa, Carlton Blues fan in AFL, in case anyone was confused about what you meant by Carlton Blues. It's like, no, there's a blues band in Carlton that he really likes. Yes, you're doing things. You guys with your epic free games, and more power to you. It's I just don't game enough. I've got probably a dozen games to play here, and some I would actually love to replay. I just don't have the time. And even now, like I'm about to take 3 weeks leave, I'm not going to go, I'm going to game while I'm doing that. Like, no, I have plans, and I'm going to be friggin' regimented, going to do walks. I'm going to read for an hour a day. Like I listen to audiobooks a lot, but I want to physically read stuff as well. So what did you pick up, Heine? You got 1080p. You got American Beauty, classic. Now You See Me, which is fun. Oh, God. Okay. Mallrats, I think, is underrated. Kevin Smith's second movie. I think that's underrated. And Amor, nice. So, Safa, the daily free games are Christmas, New Year's thing. Yeah, I just don't game enough to do it. It's obviously a good thing if you want to game. Mallrats got really negatively reviewed, harsher than was. Yes, Amour, I know, is a French film. Have you seen it before, or did you get it on spec? Because yeah, it definitely has a big rep. Oh God, now I've got it. Should try to remember what I've watched this week before I drank 3 cocktails. What did I watch this week? We finished The Good Place. Mrs. Anger and I agree they actually finished it quite well. What? Okay. Oh, God, I watched the most recent Godzilla Kong movie, which was stupid as hell, but kind of fun. I know, that was a great selection, wasn't it? Heine picked some really good films there. You tossed up whether to get a more... Yeah, no. I think it's a quality... I haven't seen it, but I think it's a quality film. Mallrats is a tribe in a Kiwi TV show, The Tribe, with a virus that killed the adults and only the teenagers remain. There you go. I feel like I watched some other stuff as well. Oh, God. Okay, so Mrs. Angry and I, for no real reason, it's just when we're flicking through stuff on Netflix, we saw a 90s Aussie film with extremely young Ben Mendelsohn and Tony Collette and sorry, my brain just stopped working. Gladiator, Russell Crowe, Jesus Christ. And Anthony Hopkins is in it. It's called Spotswood, named after the Melbourne suburb of Spotswood. It was made in the early 90s. It's set in about 1966. So yeah, it's 30 years old. So Mendo and Rusty and Tony Collette are all so fucking young. And in fact, Rusty looks younger than he is. He's the oldest of the three. And I think he's about 26, 27 when they filmed this. He looks about 20 to 22. Yes, thank you for remembering the lore of the channel. Home for the Elderly. There was a period in my early 20s where I wanted to be an actor and I was doing auditions. My two big auditions that I did quite well in but didn't get it. One was for Home and Away. I was trying to get on Home and Away. The other one was for this film, Spotswood. And they considered me for a couple of roles, but I essentially got beaten out by Ben Mendelsohn and Russell Crowe, so I don't feel too bad about it. And also took that as a sign from the gods and stopped trying to do that. Oh, yeah. Charlie, you missed Ray's having a huge spray about how fucked you're going to... Oh, you're going to go work for him. Nice. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, just randomly we saw Spotswood on Netflix. So we watched it. Mrs. Angry's never seen it. I saw it in the cinemas when it was new. I was kind of surprised how well I remembered the major plot points. It's just like Australian films in the 90s were very different to films made now. It's still good. I think it's pretty good, actually. But I want to watch some of the other classics from that period to see what I think. Notably, a comedy, The Big Steal, that has Ben Mendelsohn and Claudia. I want to watch Ben Mendelsohn films. Go full Mendo. I want to rewatch. These are all ones I saw when they're in the cinema. I want to rewatch The Big Steal, which is a comedy, which I remember really enjoying, and then like a crime drama where Mendo's this suburban fucking thug who's robbing banks. What was that one called again? God, I keep getting it mixed up with two. Actually, I want to rewatch Two Hands as well. Young Heath Ledger. God, what was Mendo's fucking crime film called? Oh, God, I knew it the other night. You think How to Make Gravy would fit nicer. So I know you thought it was good. It's not great. I think it's not terrible. I think they did a fine, okay job with it. It's probably not in my top 100 films. But I don't think they fucked it up. Okay, brain trying to work. What was Bendo's crime film called? Idiot Box. I got to rewatch Idiot Box. Mendo's suburban crime film. So yeah, having just rewatched fucking Spotswood, I feel like I want to do a whole fucking trip into the Mendoverse in preparation for Andor season 2 that Mendo's coming back in as the guy who builds the Death Star. Because spoiler alert for something that aired something like 2 years ago, we found out what all the prison labor was doing was building components for the Death Star. Was Mendo in a cliff? Mendo has done so many movies. I can't think of a cliffhanger time. He's done a lot of... I love that as the short version of why you want to quit the job. They treat you like a cunt and they're lying. Yeah. No, I think we all agree. Ray's is a hard worker and these people are being absolute fucking pieces of shit. And he needs to get a job where he's valued more. So yeah, fuck those people, and find something that's better for you. I'm like super tempted to drink more booze, but I don't think I should. Hey, tomorrow night's party night. anything could happen tomorrow night. But I think it's what are we after 9 o'clock? I think it's time to. Yes, okay. I probably need to watch Animal Kingdom because my feeling when I watched it in the cinema is this is probably the best Australian film I've ever seen. And I mean everything. The story was great. The acting was great. The cinematography was amazing. The sound design. I just thought it was such a professionally made film, like everything about it. And it's got excellent Mendo in it. But it has, oh my God, it has the guy, you've done terrible things, doll. The scariest granny in the universe. Oh my God, Noni Hazelhurst, who I used to fucking watch on Play School. And just that, you've done terrible things, doll. The scariest granny in the universe. Racist as it sounds. Yeah, okay, yeah. But I get what you're saying. The people who are here on work visas and can't afford to fight back, yes, working in IT, I actually know exactly what you're talking about because so many visa workers from India, which again, suppressed my wage as an IT worker for a decade. Okay, you're right. The cliffhanger movie was Vertical Limit. I don't think I've seen Vertical Limit. Mendo doesn't always play an Australian in his Hollywood films, but I love it when he does play an Australian in his Hollywood films. Like, what's the one with Brad Pitt, Killing Them Softly, where he's a degenerate, druggy criminal who's in Australia? It's just great. In amongst all these other people, there's just Mendo as this degenerate Australian druggie doing crimes in America. Fucking awesome. Yes, you're underpaid and overworked. And yes, and again, the migrant workers, the people here on visas, are definitely exploited. It's just like, not only will you have trouble getting a job, you will actually be kicked out of the country if you don't have a job. Jackass, Kill the Cow. Awesome screen name. Moving to Sydney from the UK in April. Quite nervous. Any tips? Work mental health in construction. Tell you about the culture around mental health. Oof, dude. Oof. Okay. My partner, she is actually a psychologist counselor in the health system. There's probably good and bad. And I also think, like, if you're going to Sydney, you're not going to run out of clientele. Sydney is a town full of fucked up people, basically. But that's very interesting in April. Okay, so that's interesting. You'll be coming in autumn. There will still be some warm weather. I lived in Sydney for 10 years. Okay, I'm in Melbourne now. I've been in Melbourne for 27 years. In fact, we are just passing the point. Yeah, it'd be my 27th anniversary in Melbourne because my firstborn was born in November and we moved to Melbourne in January because all the babysitters were here. All my then partner's family were here. We didn't have any family in Sydney. And I was also the first grandchild on her side of the family. I come from the big family and I'm one of the younger ones. So I moved to Melbourne 27 years ago, but lived in Sydney for 10 years. Interestingly, Jackass, Kill the Cow, what part of the UK are you moving from? And I am not an expert in culture and lifestyle in all the different parts of the UK, but that might help me. Because I don't think Sydney is a very UK style city. It's a bit more of an American style city. I think Melbourne's a bit more of a UK style city, but the culture around mental health. So it's probably going to depend if you're working for a private company or for the government sector, like healthing. South Hampshire, in Hartford, Hereford, Hampshire, hurricanes hardly happen. Who gets that reference? Who's a theatre kid? I'm a theatre kid. Okay, our outside London. Okay, so you know what a real big city is. Sydney is nothing compared to London. Okay, Sydney is our biggest city. Sydney and Melbourne are kind of the same size. Sydney has more of a big city vibe, and it's of course nothing compared to London. Ray, do you have enough money to hire a bodyguard? No. Okay, it's not. This was the mother of my children is my ex. We split ages ago. Mrs. Angry and I are coming up on our 19th anniversary. So I met Mrs. Angry in Melbourne. So Jack, your wife's half Australian. Look, okay. If you're working in mental health, it's going to be a little bit different if you're in a private company or a government sector. I think you will probably find, like, okay, it's way easier to live in Sydney than, say, London. London's a bit freaking big. Like, it's got basically the population of Australia in one city. Sydney fancies itself as kind of high-paced, fast. But I think maybe I'm biased because the people I hang out with, I think there's a pretty wholesome embrace of mental health in Australia. So I think it'll probably go well for you. Your uncle, yes. Safa, there's only 100,000 people work for the Vic state government. Maybe I know him. Yes, I know you've got the license to do bodyguard work. You're asking Ray's if he watched anything on New Year's? Working, obviously. Never watch anything. But by all means, Jackass Kill the Cow, you get to Australia, and because it must be a weird hour for you at the moment, or although maybe not, I'm not sure. I get the time differences messed up all the time. I know my partner, on a Sunday night, she'll call her brother in England, and it's evening for us, and it's early morning for him. So I don't know. 10 a.m., okay, that's a perfectly reasonable hour. We often get people from North America, and it's like 2 or 3 a.m. for them. So it's the insomniacs. If we get anyone from the US or Canada here, it's insomniacs. I reckon you'll do well. Particularly, your wife's half Australian. If you've got people you know here, so you're not completely isolated. The more money you have in Sydney, the better time you're going to have. It's definitely more expensive to live in than Melbourne. Not that Melbourne's cheap, but it's not as intense as Sydney. Well, I mean, not everyone in Sydney is rich, obviously, but the rich people have a much better time in Sydney. Like, what's the best things in Sydney? The harbour and the beaches. To live anywhere near the harbour and the beaches, you've got to be filthy fucking rich. Wasn't always the way. Like I said, I'm old enough that back in the day, 80s and 90s, there were opportunities to live in really fucking good places in Sydney that wouldn't wipe you out financially. These days, like, everything's just spiraled, particularly in the last 30, 40 years. Could my youngsters afford to live in Sydney? Well, it would be tough. I mean, they're both working, but Jesus, Sydney for young people is so fucking tough. Like, when I were young and living in Sydney, I was on the fucking dole. I could afford to live in a shared house in the inner city on the fucking dole. And I'd struggled to get it on my wage these days. And I'm paid pretty well. Jack, Sydney is expensive. Yeah. Work, get a van. Oh, dude, you should. I mean, that's the one thing. If you've just lived in the UK your whole life, touring Australia can be magical. Even as someone who's born and raised here, touring Australia can be magical, but it's so different to the UK. And I actually quite like the UK. I've done road trips in the UK and really enjoyed it. But the difference between the UK and Australia, if you're able to tour around, it can be magical. Was it okay? King of the Cross. That's a streaming TV series dramatizing the guy who basically controlled King's Cross in the 80s and 90s. Back in the day when I was there, I had a friend who worked. I've told this story heaps of times on the stream. I had a friend who worked in a bottle shop in the Cross, and one time he was taking a break. He was out the front, and we were standing there talking, and he pointed and said, "Don't make it too obvious." But that guy, there was like a fruit shop there, right? That guy talking to the guy in the fruit shop, and I said, "Yeah, I got him." He goes, "Yep, he runs the Cross basically." And there's a whole thing where he says, "I know because I've talked with the right people. There's a plan because King's Cross was all strip clubs and shit." And he goes, "As soon as the real estate here is worth more as apartments than as clubs, it's all going to change, and it's all going to be apartments." But that's the guy that the King of the Cross is about. Raise, you work Christmas through the holidays, haven't taken a day off, only made 3,000. Yeah, no, fuck them. Yeah, no, they're not paying you enough, man. Dude, we had the funniest. Okay, so my friend who was working in the bottle shop, and it used to be heaps of fun. I'd go there, like he would finish at midnight. The licensing laws, the bottle shop would close at midnight. I'd go there about 10. And we just hang out and talk. He'd serve people, then they'd close. And his girlfriend was working in the strip club across the road. She was a drinks waitress, and she would explain there's actually really strict delineation between the drink servers who, would dress in sexy clothes, but they didn't dance or strip. And then there's the dancers or strippers. And then there's the working girls who'd come up to people who were sitting, guys who were sitting in the audience and go, "You want to go upstairs?" So there was actually the 3 different jobs there, and there was no crossover, basically. Drink servers, strippers, and full service sex workers were all 3 completely different things. So then we'd wait for her to finish, which would be like 2, 3 a.m. And then we'd go to one of the 24-hour places and get food. And sometimes, because we were young and stupid, we'd be there till like 6 a.m. Like this place had a license to stay open till 6 a.m. So we'd be just eating food and having stuff to drink through to 6 a.m. and then go home and sleep for the whole fucking day. So that would be like a Friday or Saturday night. And if we did that, that would wipe out the whole thing. So what you're going to do if you win lotto, Raise, just open a Blockbuster video place. Were we talking about the NDIS? No, I think they would be out. I'm trying to remember. They might have even been 24-hour licenses. I don't remember. But basically, it was a really good time. But I was young. It's like I could go to raves and be at a rave till fucking sunrise and just go home and it would be fine. New Year's Eve, I stayed up till just after midnight, and I slept not for a long time. I slept for about 8 hours. I was so fucking wasted. And I was watching. Oh, what was I watching? The horror movie Longlegs. And that's right. I knew I watched something else this week, Longlegs. And I was falling asleep. And I thought, no, I stop this. I have to go and lie down. And I went lay down and slept for an hour. And then I got up and watched it. It was not bad. It was interesting. They went for slow burn tension over like slasher horror stuff. But then they apparently had to just verbally explain the whole thing. And I was like, well, that's not good filmmaking. If you won lotto, you'd buy a Blockbuster. Yeah, honestly, that would kind of be fun. You could be like Quentin Tarantino, just have video rental and just talk to the people who came in to rent movies. It'd be fun. I think broadly speaking, Safa, celery is good for you, roughage and all that. Yeah, you and Sega, you'd be there watching movie. Oh my God, it'd be like Clerks. Yeah. And if you want a lot of, you don't, that's such a good idea. Have a video rental place that you don't need to make money on, that you just want to talk about shit and be putting stuff on the screen and talk. That would actually be fucking kick-ass. I like that. That is a really good idea. It's like my thing if I won lotto is like, start a distillery. But maybe even, I have this whole idea of it, distillery, cocktail bar, cafe, maker space, craft emporium, and just all our divergent bunch can come there. The neurogender, sexually divergent bunch. Yes, you'd be on board, wouldn't you? Yeah, no, absolutely. It does sound like a great idea. Have a video rental place that doesn't have to make money because you won lotto. That's a fucking awesome idea. And just have it and just talk to people who come in. Like, yeah, borrow this. Physical media. It's fucking awesome. All right, where are we? 9:30. Yeah, I'm going to open my mineral water. Not going to stay up super late tonight. Well, I think it's like you'd be the only video rental place in the country. And people would come and see you. It'd be awesome. Oh, yeah, and a cinema that does play new movies. I do love the classic up the road from me. That's a very broad reach. They're saying it's just up the road, but it's kind of up the road from me. They have matinee stuff with classic movies, which is great. Yes, we are Divergent. We are Legion. Yes, I'm still doing Lemon and Lime because it's my favorite. Yes, Dr. Abigail did stay the night, and I dropped her off on New Year's Day. And then I did some shopping. And then I came back and watching Long Nights, fell asleep, and then I napped for an hour, and then I watched stuff with Mrs. Angry, and then I was like, okay, now I'm having trouble sleeping because I slept in the afternoon. So you're up for the movie cinema as well, Raze? Yeah. Oh, not busy at all. Safa, it was like, I was a bit dubious because Dr. Abigail was having a bit of problem with chronic pain, saying, could I pick her up? I was like, oh God, New Year's Eve, I've got to go through the city. What's going to be like? It was a dream run. The New Year's Eve and New Year's Day crossing the city was the smoothest city runs I've had in my life. Like no congestion whatsoever. Like the only time traffic stopped was at traffic lights. It was wild. So we're going to watch the Road to movies. Oh, followed by the Road to episodes of Family Guy. Oh my God. Safi, you went to Mount Beauty, saying all the Melbourne people are in Bright. Yeah, see, that's why Melbourne was quiet, because all the Melbourne people went somewhere else. Want to do a podcast? I mean, dude, if you dudes all want to get to do a podcast, I'd fucking do it. Definitely. Oh, look, don't know, raise you home from the elderly and me. I'd fucking do it. Yeah, no. I would absolutely fucking do it. And actually, like, there's a few ways to do it, but StreamYard makes it super easy to record, just like dead easy. Have you ever been to Bright? I kind of think I have, but I'm not 100% sure. We got to talk Charlie into it now. You can tell the Melbourne people in Bright because they have their mountain bikes on the roof. I mean, we got a lot of scope. We have a lot of scope there. I swear, if you guys were up for it, I'd friggin' do it. I would absolutely friggin' do it. Maybe that's a 2025 thing. We just, the technical stuff's not that difficult. I'd do it just for fun. I don't give a shit if anyone listens to it or not. You guys, I'd do it just for fun. So I'm using up my last, what do we call it? U-Foods. You had fried fish. Nice. Mine was shredded beef and ravioli in a tomato sauce. Pretty fucking good, honestly. We call it Life of the Neurodivergent. Don't give a fuck about money. I would do it just for fun. I would legit do it for fun. I mean, we could friggin' do it. We could absolutely do it. Instead of home for the elderly, home for the neurodivergent. I don't think we'd even have to explain it. I think if people just heard us talk, they'd know what it was about. Damn. Just the hyper focus and the rambling. It'd be like, oh, okay. I'm going to ask Robbie Williams for the money. Like, hey, Robbie, could you give some money? We've got this really innovative idea of 3 white guys doing a podcast. Oh, god damn. Yeah, no, we should definitely friggin' chat on this. It's definitely a plan. Hell, if that's a new thing we do in 2025, I'm bang up for it. I think it sounds like a great friggin' idea. No pressure, but if we do it, and we could have guests. I mean, literally, if anyone at some point says, "Can I be on it?" we say, "Yes, you can. You can be a guest." Hot damn, we got a plan. No, aircon will be on for the next 3 fucking days, though. Tomorrow's the first one to hit 30. You'll say no to make them uncomfortable? I mean, yeah, that's another thing we could do. What's bombs? Face ID. Get your shit together. Yeah, 30. So they've brought Saturday down a bit because the prediction had been anywhere from 38 to 40. Now they're saying 37. But Sunday at one point was as low as 30. Now they're saying 36 on Sunday. So 3 pretty fucking hot days. Today was warm, but not brutal. But tomorrow's just hot. Tomorrow's too hot. Saturday is predicted to be way too fucking hot. And Sunday is predicted to be way too fucking hot. So if I do a stream on Sunday night, I was about to say, I might be a bit frazzled. I won't be. I will have just fucking stayed inside and had air conditioning on for 3 fucking days. So my neighborhood's supposedly 30 tomorrow, but it's like 38 on Saturday, 37, 38 on Saturday. Mrs. Anger and I are doing date night on Saturday, and it's like, it's probably still going to be really hot when we go out. Is it expensive? I mean, it's not cheap to run air conditioning. Do you only run it on the really hot days? Are we talking about the free games now? Is Kingdom Come any good? Looks like Skyrim on a budget. Damn. It's the generic brand Skyrim. Wilson Security blocked you on what? Were you shit talking them on social media? That's come out of left field. I thought Kingdom Come was like a Superman storyline. Okay, so Wilson Security, known sexists, racists, called them out on Facebook and they blocked you. Well, now I want to look it up, this game you're talking about. It's like Red Dead Redemption, but Knights. Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, Black Metal Heart. You've just been lurking. Kingdom Come's brought you out. There we go. Great, but very focused on realism. Dude, if you want to nerd out on gaming stuff, you're in the right place. You're a serf. So when you start, you suck at everything. Damn. Okay. It's free till 3 a.m. East Coast time. Which I guess is midnight WA time. No longer respect anyone with the name Wilson. It's changed home improvement forever. Yeah, or the volleyball in the Tom Hanks movie Castaway. Yes, okay. That's what I thought. It's a universal time. So 3 a.m. Melbourne, midnight WA. Black Metal Heart, if you have any other games you want to tell us about, we'll talk about anything. Yeah, the volleyball was an asshole. Fucking just dipped on Tom Hanks right at the critical moment. He's trying to get freedom. I beat you to the Castaway mention, Safa. I know, that was right at the critical point. The ball fucking ditched. Damn, Wilson, you suck. It's still pretty wild that most of Castaway was shot on a studio set, and they really convincingly put the backdrops in. I know, talking is faster than typing. Who knew, Safa? Okay, crazy. Fucking my God, Wilson. I went to school with a Wilson. Oh my God, that was the guy who hit me in the head with a fucking discus. Again, regulars all know the story about me being hit in the head with a discus. The guy who hit me in the head with the discus was named Wilson. There's a fucking pattern here. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. See, it's Wilson's all around. God damn it. Geez, I hadn't even put 2 and 2 together, Rays, until you highlighted. I was like, no, fucking Wilson. God damn it. Your uncle's last name, who's a cheating pile of shit? Wilson. Oh, yeah. Or at least I'm lucky my head's so big because it's all skull, which block the discus. We're going to put the Wilsons in camps? It wasn't swollen? I know. No. I saw the x-rays, man. My skull looked absolutely Cro-Magnon. I remember looking at the x-rays on the wall and just going, that's not normal. That's not a normal human. That's not a Homo sapien head. That's like Homo erectus. What the fuck? How many high school reunions have I been to? None, I think. And again, because I've been looking at, 40th. And I don't think I've been to one. Yes, no, yeah, my skull is more Homo Simpsonus, definitely. Yes, a walking, talking Homer Simpson. Blackheart, you work for a guy who worked for Wilson. He's on his second jail stint. There's a long one. Yeah, okay, there's something in that. God damn. That's okay. I think we've got a pattern with the name Wilson now. From the shithead volleyball through to the guy who hit me in the head with a discus. So Safi, you didn't go to your 10-year anniversary. I don't think I went to any. I did interact with people online who were organizing reunions, but I didn't go to the reunions. Just like, no. You've discovered new global law, like anyone named Wilson is bad. Yeah, no. President Woodrow Wilson, bad. Bad president, because he's a Wilson. We're just identifying a pattern with Wilsons that's just not good. Can't think of anything. So I just worry that a random person who's a Wilson would see this and go, oh, dude. Also, no one's mentioned what I did with the theme for this stream. An RIP for the Sheik of Scrubby Creek, Chad Morgan, who had a 70-year career. Like, he died at 90 something, and he had like a 70-year career. Had huge goofy teeth. He was an entertainer with fucked up teeth before Shane MacGowan. That does sound like something a Wilson would say. Don't you find it weird? Wilson was always finding reason to be out in the backyard in Home Improvement. Oh, yeah. Wilson in Home Improvement, not good. There's definitely something going on there. Not good at all. I was fascinated. If you're not familiar with Chad Morgan, you should look him up. And his most famous track, which was like 50 years ago, was the Sheik of Scrubby Creek, and where he does this sort of dog howling thing. Arr, 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 arr. But he managed to do it and show off his teeth, and he could do the arr, 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 and show off his weird, freaky teeth. So, yeah, his whole thing was he's a weird-looking motherfucker. Like, he might have been a Wilson. I'm just saying. Chad Morgan might have been a Wilson. I was also formulating in my head, like, okay, Chad Morgan, when I was a kid, like, you know, Chad Morgan coming to town would be a major social event. You'd be like the height of culture, Chad Morgan doing a show in Dubbo. Not least because he looks like everyone in West Dubbo. Hey-o! What else does Wilson suck at? Tennis supplies. There you go. I didn't know. Another reason to dislike Wilson. Bad tennis supplies. That is not something I knew. But we've now established it as a irrefutable fact. Because we're not putting up with this Wilson bullshit anymore. It's just not good. I mean, Dubbo wouldn't even take Wilson's. She's saying Wilson tennis is overpriced and needs constant replacing. All right. I'm going to take your word for it because I know nothing about. They do, don't they, actually? Who makes the balls for like the Australian Open? Damn. Wilson Sporting Goods, not to be trusted. Not just because their volleyballs will abandon you on the high seas most just when you need them most. Yeah, Wilson's abandoning them at high seas. Oh my God, that was just as I said it. I think the Wilson who hit me in the head with the discus did stay in Dubbo. Yeah, I don't know for sure because there are very few people in Dubbo I still interact with. We occasionally see some of them on the stream, and it's always great when we do. The Wilson who hit me in the head with the discus is not one of them. I'm not interacting with him on Facebook. And I'm not shutting him out because he hit me in the head with the discus. Just hasn't happened. Simple as that. Was it a large percent? No, I think there was only I think it was all boys. It was like 2 or 3 boys. Yeah, I stayed at his place once. He stayed at mine. He had these weird kung fu books. These weird kung fu books that you could order through like a school book club. And half of them were just martial arts and violence, but half of them would have weird sex stuff in them, and which never would have been allowed if anyone at the Catholic school knew about it. But they didn't advertise it like, hey, these books have got weird sex stuff in them. Just this guy was getting them, and they were just supposed to be kung fu, and it wasn't all of them. And they weren't overtly about it, but I read some of them, and it's like, okay, this one was all just martial arts. Okay, this one was martial arts. Oh, and weird sex stuff. Okay, okay, that's a thing. And we got this through a Catholic school book club. Who'd have thunk it? Certainly not me. Not expecting to get weird sex stuff in a Catholic school book club. Okay. This just reminded me of something else. Weird porn books that were published in the 70s and 80s. You get some that were just full-on porn. But then you get these weird books where they go into really over-the-top graphic detail on things above the waist, but they would only allude to things below the waist, which is very funny. It's just like, no, we can talk about boobs as much as we like and as explicitly and graphically as we like, but we can only allude to stuff below. Now, I'm not talking about porno mags. There was also different sorts of porno mags. This was like books. This was novels that had sex. They were just all about sex. Wait, did anyone tweet person fought off goddamn crocodile by biting it up north? What? No, what? Someone got in a fight with a crocodile and bit it? R-rated porn, yes, stuff that's not graphic is weird. Oh, yeah, the Japanese porn laws where they couldn't show penis in vagina stuff. And that's where fucking tentacle porn comes from. It's all the law of unintended consequences. Okay, we won't show penis in vagina, but we'll just have all this stuff with tentacles. Right, Google. We'll go into news. See what happens if I just search crocodile. Does something come up? Crocodile. What comes up if I search crocodile? Saltwater crocodile swimming in the ocean. Why is Crocodile Dundee being re-edited? British TV edits Crocodile Dundee for family viewing. Okay, that actually sounds interesting. What did British TV edit out of Crocodile Dundee? Oh, they're being political correctness, wokeness. Okay, I need to know exactly what got cut out. 5 edited scenes. Edit 5:15 with several scenes cut out. Mick meets transgender woman Gwendolyn, approaches her and grabs her groin area. Mick asks limousine driver Gus about his heritage. Biggest disappointment is cut the eye. Oh, they cut. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Wow. Okay. There seems like hardly any point screening the movie at the. So nothing is showing about. What if I search crocodile bite? Kimberley man punched crocodile nose. That's from 19th November. No, nothing's showing up in the news, Rays. Okay, you put a link in the Discord. Okay, let me see. Nothing's. Oh, there it is. General Neurospicy. CNN. What's this? An Australian cattle farmer managed to survive a crocodile attack after biting the huge predator on the eyelid. Told national broadcaster ABC he's working alone. Stopped to check a billabong. He could see fish in the middle. Decided to try and catch something else in the water. Took 2 steps. The dirty bastard latched onto my right foot. Was a big grab. Shook me like a rag doll. Took off back in the water about 3 meters, pulled me. And then Devereaux recounted how he kicked the croc and fell over with his head near the crocodile's head before trying to bite. Managed to have a bite, he said, but couldn't get a hold of the crocodile's head. Devereaux said his teeth slipped and he managed to get a hold of the eyelid, which he described as pretty thick, like holding on to leather. I jerked back on that after a second goes past and he let go. He chased me 3 or 4 meters, but then stopped. So he managed to stop the bleeding with some rope, travelled to hospital, told he had damage to his tendons, 2 big slashes. Doctors cleared out the mud and bacteria from the wound. They'd spent a lot of time. I think it was nearly 10 days flushing it. It's going to be a while. Then he fixed the wound with staples, got a skin graft. He's made a good recovery. I can bend me toes, got feeling in me toes. Happened like in 8 seconds. If he bit me somewhere else, it would have been different, I think. He was really in his prime. About a 3.2 meter, 10-foot croc. This guy's in his mid-60s. This guy's in his mid-60s and fought off a croc. Good Lord. That okay. Thank you for putting that on Discord, Rays. That is a whole thing. God damn. That is wild. Yeah, that crocodile was a Wilson, definitely. So dude in his 60s gets attacked by a croc and actually fights back. Good Lord. That's a hell of a thing. That's Australia, though. These fucking Wilson crocs. You know what? I'm going to have a little splash more of this. My clarified cocktail. This is really good. This was a winner, and it deserves to be a video on the cocktail channel. Jackass Kill the Cow, thanks for dropping in. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for hanging out. It's been great to have you here. I know. Breathe them different up north. Not normal, not smart, different. Yeah. No, someone who's just like, I'm being attacked by a croc. Right, I'm going to fucking bite him back. You know? And it worked. What's the whole saying? It's like people saying you're doing something stupid. It's not stupid if it works. Yeah, it doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just different. You don't know. If a croc attacked you, wouldn't go without a fight. I mean, yeah. I'm just marveling a dude in his 60s fighting off a croc, though. I mean, that's a cool story. Like, you hear the stupid stories about people taking ridiculous, stupid risks and getting taken by a croc. There was a few years back, like, you know, maybe as many as 10 years back. It was a while back. I remember these American tourists being interviewed, and they're at this, it's like a picnic area. It's on a rise looking down on a river, which is an estuary. There's a saltwater estuary. And there were signs about it, like, don't go in the water here, crocodiles. And there was a dude fishing, and he's standing in the river fishing, and the water was very clear. And these people are up on the rise, had a good view. They saw a croc swimming towards him, and they were like, hey, like, this is good. And the guy sort of heard them and saw them waving, and he just waved back, and they went, oh, he just waved back. Maybe he knows something we don't, and he's fine. He wasn't. The croc just go and took him under and took him away, and he was dead. And the Americans were like, well, that was fucked up. So hopefully after Japan's defeat in WW2, American occupational authorities changed many of Japan's laws to guarantee freedom of speech and expression. Sadly, occupational authorities decided the law regarding pornography needed to change. It's remained effective to this day. Okay. Rays, when you opened it, you thought for sure it's shoes. They fought a crocodile. Yeah, that's a pretty friggin' wild story, quite honestly. And I thank you for sharing it. 2023, that's why it didn't come up when I searched for it. We are getting to that time of the evening. The croc story I was telling, it was in Queensland. It may have been as long ago as 10 years ago, but it wasn't longer ago than that. See, COVID actually fucked my ability to remember time span. It was definitely a decent chunk pre-COVID, so it might have been as long as 10 years ago. Because, you know, we're now coming up on 5 years of COVID. Okay, so 60 years after World War II saw the acceptance of uncensored pornography, freedom of expression in the West. Japan continue to consider it injurious to public morals. You can't legally buy a movie featuring fully visible hardcore action. And also, pubic hair. Pubic hair was taboo in Japanese porn as well. Ray, you want your own business? Oh, yeah. No. And it's difficult to set up your own business, but you work fucking hard and should get the proper recompense for the work you do. Which is clearly not the fucking people you're working for at the moment. You might find the right people who value you in a way you should be valued. You might find an opportunity to set up your own thing. I'm going to put a little bit of my liqueur in here, because that puts a bit of flavour in the orange peel for Mrs. Angry to put in her hot chocolate in the morning. That's my... Oh, I've also decided what I'm going to do with at least one of the barrels. I've got port in one and red wine in another flavouring. I'm going to do an Infinity rum. Did the Infinity whiskey a little while ago. I'm going to do an Infinity rum. So I'm going to, tomorrow night, I might even do it on stream, blend up some rums and keep them in the barrel for somewhere between a week and a month. Dr. Abear conducting very important science, comparing Toblerone honey almond nougat to Tony's honey almond nougat chocolate. Nice. Yeah, you got to get the best chocolate for science. Give the barrels a flush. Oh no, see, thank you, but for the label maker, that's the thing I do now. I when I put something in, I put the date, even if it's just the month. But like, so I've still got one of the cheap whiskies aging. The first cheap Coles whiskey that we aged for, was it 4 months? That was a fucking huge success. That tasted awesome. But now it's the second one because Coles actually have two cheap whiskies. I think it's got the date on there. That's red wine. That's port. Yeah, that was the first week of October. So how long has that been? October, November, December. That's 3 months. What, at least one more month? Put the date on. You refer back. Yeah. Oh, you mean the actual exact date? Put it. Yeah, I literally could. But I looked at the rums I have. That there's something like a little bit left in the bottles, and I've definitely got enough where I can amalgamate a bunch of them and make a blended rum. And then I think, like I said, it'd be in the barrels somewhere for a week to a month to pick up some of the flavors from the barrel and have all those things blend in. And I think that'll probably be as successful as the whiskey. Then I just have to, I have to decide, do I do it with the red wine barrel or the port barrel? Maybe red wine. I still got one barrel to decide what to do. Oh, yes. You were very excited when I talked about getting a new barrel. And I might. I also like White Possum, the people who sell those barrels, which are really good. They also sell New Make Spirit, which I have done before. I've aged their New Make Spirit in the barrels, and it's pretty fucking good. And I've got another bottle of the New Make Rye Spirit, which I get from Nick's Wine Merchants. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get a new barrel from White Possum, prime it with red wine for a week or two, and then do a new make aging thing in it. Yeah, and there'll be a red wine aged like Starward. Although I think you missed Home for the Elderly. I made a cocktail at the start of the stream, and the original recipe, the person who made it with a scotch that was aged in an ex-bourbon barrel. So I used my Starward that was aged in ex-bourbon barrels. Oh, you miss everything? It's time for swapsies. Okay. Well, I've still got a couple of Starward rarities I should share with you. So possibly also the bourbon barrel one. Have I ever sent you the Starward bourbon barrel? Because I don't think I have. But I've got a couple of rarities that I can send you a sample of if we're swapping whiskies again. Okay, I'm going to eat the cherries. I got 2 cherries. Where are they? Fucking yum. Oh my god. Those cherries are so fucking yummy. Your Secret Santa should arrive the person. Oh, that's all good. Okay, so you're yelling at the people to deliver it. Nice. And they're going to respond. Well, you've got a gig coming up with your band. That sounds like fun. Cherry Lane Market, 2nd of Cherry Lake Market, 2nd of Feb. Who's that? I'm gonna, before we sign off, Cherry Lake. Is that in Altona? Cherry Lake Market, City of Hobson's Bay. Altona Lions Club, Cherry Lane Market. Where's the actual address of that? Have I got the right one? The Altona Lions Club, Cherry Lake Market? Yeah, Altona. Okay. All right, Millers Road, Altona. We go maps, directions. How far is it from my place? It's half an hour drive. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. It's around past Williamstown. I used to live on that side of town. Okay, so that's a little outing if I was to go there. An excuse to go for an outing, certainly. Oh, yeah, that's your old stomping ground, Rays. Cherry Lakes. Yeah, between Williamstown and Altona, yeah. Oh, bug spray. Okay. So there's a hot tip from someone who used to live near Cherry Lake. Mozzies are out of fucking control there. All right, hot tip. Lots of insect repellent for Cherry's Lakes. Okay. Hot tip from someone who lived in the area back in the day. All right. I think I'm done now. Gonna not overdo it tonight, so I can maybe do a longer stream for party night tomorrow night. Because okay. Oh yes, okay. So Starwood Lagavulin, you've got a question before I go. Yes. No. Ask it now. Ask it now. I'm here. Now you got a thing with the question. Well, maybe you're resistant to Posy. After getting a warning like that, I'd take insect repellent as a precaution. Maybe you don't need it, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. If you get what I'm saying. Black Metal Art, thank you for joining us tonight with a little bit of insight. Oh, okay. You get into a huge fight with peated Scotch whiskey people about the best. Lagavulin has a really big rep. What are the other ones? I mean, you can just do a Google search, best peated Scotch whiskey, and you'll see people fighting over it. Bunnahabhain, Lagavulin. There's another big one. What is it? Oh, I'm on the fucking internet. Let's look it up. We say best peated Scotch. We asked 11 bartenders, what's the best peated brand Scotch for beginners? Ardbeg, that's the other one. That's the one I was trying to think of. Okay, but let's look at the brands. I think the biggest fight with Scotch people will be between Ardbeg and Lagavulin. I've got Talisker, which is quite nice. Bowmore, I've heard of, yeah. Port Charlotte, Brookladdy, Bunnahabhain. Yeah, I think Lafroig. Okay, so I think the three biggest peated whiskies, you'll get people fighting over which is the best. The people who are real hipsters will have more fringe ones, but the three biggest you'll get people fighting over are Lafroig, Lagavulin, and which one was it? Ardbeg. I think those are the three you'll get people fighting over most often. You also get people who'll be fans of Brookladdy or Bunnahabhain as well. But yeah, it's like there's no real best. It's just the one you like. Oh yeah, the people from Starwood were really huge fans of Lagavulin, and they had done the peated finish ones. You see, the unexpeated or peated finish were done in ex-Lagavulin barrels, but Lagavulin wouldn't let them use their name. It was a thing of negotiation over years, saying we really want to market this as being in Lagavulin barrels, and Lagavulin eventually agreed. So that's the thing they released in the last year, the Lagavulin one. Oh, dude, I'm always going to answer questions about booze. Okay, science. Toblerone is superior. Okay, good. Well, it's also very easy to get. All right. And of course, I lashed out extra and got the cask strength Starwood Lagavulin finish, which was never going to be sold in shops. I think the Starwood, like the normal strength Starwood Lagavulin finish, might show up in Dan Murphy's in the next year, but the cask strength one won't. Raise, you can become one with Lord if you like. A Sith Lord? You want to be a Sith Lord? That's cool. So I'm going to go to bed because, like I said, I technically have to work tomorrow, but I am not going to do too much. I'll, let you in on a secret. But be back for party night tomorrow night, and we will see what happens. Because anything can happen. Although we had a few people who don't normally come in join the chat tonight, which is also nice. And it's always a good night when all the regulars show up. Yeah. An Archie Rose one. Yeah, I was thinking of, because I still actually have a couple of Archie Rose whiskies. Oh, in fact, I think the cask strength rum barrel Archie Rose, I think I've got one I haven't even opened of that, because that one in a blind tasting of 16 different whiskies. So that's not to be sniffed at. But yeah, I've got this thing like, do an infinity bottle, and you empty a whole bunch of bottles, and that's like an excuse to buy more bottles. Oh, a rye. Okay. I do genuinely like the Gospel Rye, which you can get from Dan Murphy's. The Solera is cheaper, and that's good. The straight rye is a little bit more expensive, but is very good. And every now and then they have it on a good special. It's basically, if either of those are on special, they're worth getting. But Archie Rose do a good rye whiskey as well. And in fact, I think there might be some small distillers in WA who do rye whiskey as well. But the Gospel would probably be my go-to for a rye whiskey, because they're good. Yeah, and I lucked into a Coles bottle shop that was trying to get rid of some Gospel straight rye, and it was like a third off. And then it was just like with the Coles flybys, was this thing where I was getting an extra $20. So effectively, it's like, okay, this is normally, actually, what is it normally? I just want to look it up. Just gone Gospel Rye whiskey. So Solera is about $90, and the straight rye can be anywhere from 110 up. So what does Dan's sell it for? Default prices in Dan's. Where are we? Okay. Okay, default prices for Solera is 90, and for the straight is 100. Currently on special for 90 at Dan's. And I'm on the gospel mailing list because they do limited editions all the time, which I get quite a few of because they're really good. But yeah, they're straight rye. Like, okay, it's normally $100. It was like this. Coles was selling it for $80 or possibly less, and then with the Fly Advisor, I got another $20 off. So it was like really cheap. Yeah, message me on Discord about whatevs. And I'll be back for tomorrow. Is that your doofus cat was playing vigorously with a piece of Lego, spilled his dry food? Damn. But then ate all the food he spilled, so that's okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to go sleepy bobos and be back for party night tomorrow night, and we'll see how that goes. So you all take care, and I'll see you another time. But
you are totally fucked!